Good morning, friends. It's Nancy, and I'm here with my next Christmas journal project. It's very early Sunday morning, and I just sat down to start tearing apart these old Reader's Digest condensed books from 1968. I was really hoping I was going to be able to salvage the spine. Not that I would leave it like that, but that it would be a base to cover something. But whether these, well, let's face it, they're probably very cheaply made. So I'm going to have to come up with a new plan for the spine. I would have covered it in fabric anyway, but yeah, this just snapped. It's very dry. Like, I don't know. So, same deal here. Didn't come right off, but I could just snap, snap, snap. So I have two identical covers and a lot of trash. I thought I'd go through this quick and steal any pages that might be good. I'll probably cut that out, put it in my stash. This has got a big hunk of white paper. I can back a tag or a journaling card with that, so I'll just tear that off. I like these. So I'll probably tear off the floral trim to add to the edge of a page or something. That's pretty. And let's flip to the back. Save that. This is another blank on the back. I'm not going to save this because it's pretty thin paper. And I'm always going to be able to see the text through that. But what I do want to do is kind of flick through. See if there's any illustrations I want to keep. Oh, look at the kittens. It's cute, but it's too dark. I can't save everything. Well, that's kind of interesting. Is that a lynx? I'll never use it. What a nice name, Jessamine. I like this illustration, but I'll never use it. That's kind of cute. These kind of have a folk art feel to them. Nope. Yeah, that's cute. She's being chased by a pig. Nope. Looks like a tragedy. Well, that's cute. Well, let's take this one out. I forgot there was so many illustrations in these books. easy to bend now that that's off. This one's about Marie Antoinette. I don't think... There's a ton in here that I want to keep. I only want to keep pretty pictures. Oh, that's pretty. Why would they put this, the back of this man there? What was the illustrator thinking? I like this. I can probably cut this out and put a different, like a portrait there or something. So I'll save that for some collage-y type stuff. Save her. Nope. Nope. Nothing good about this one. I would generally save black and white photos, but I can't see where I would ever use these. Well, there's a cabin in some snowy woods, but nah. That's pretty. Kind of watercolor. That's sort of pretty, but not feeling it. Oh, there's a heron or a crane or something there. Look at that painting. You can see how the light sparkles on that water. Kind of nice to have a variety. That's pretty. I won't use the, I don't like that. It looks scary. Too scary. I won't use these in the Christmas journals. I'll just put them away. Aww. And I think that's it for this book. Okay, let me grab, oh, did I look at this part already? Yeah, I think I did. Oh yes, I did. I remember ripping this off. Sometimes in older books I would try to tear off this gauzy stuff. Oh, there it goes. It's coming now. And, you know, maybe use that in some collage. But let me clear the decks. We'll come back and talk about how to build a spine for this. All right. So what I have here is an artist canvas pad. I was fortunate enough to find this dirt cheap at a local thrift store. So this is actually canvas, and I want to cut a piece for each of the spines. I kind of like the proportions of the original spine, so I'm just going to measure that. Oop, upside down, Nancy. Let's call it an inch and 3/4 ish. Inch and 5/8. Let's do 1.5 inches. And then we'll leave a little bit of room between the canvas and the spine. We decided 1.5 inches, right? So I'm just measuring with my acrylic ruler, cutting with my blade. And one more. It's kind of handy to do two at the same time. The insides won't be the same, but the outsides will be twinning. Okay, I'm going to put that back. Now, the spine, or sorry, the book itself is 7 5/8. I'm happy to be working on these Christmas journals. I was really bummed out about the strike with Canada Post, and I was saying to Catherine, I'm just going to pack up Christmas. I can't make any more Christmas journals because I don't want them to sit around till next year. I want to share them with the world. But I'm going to try this new shipping company. Okay, I chose this fabric. Now ignore this orangey red. I think this green is going to be perfect. So first thing I'll do is cut. I don't want that ruler. I want that ruler. Okay, we said that was 7 5/8, so I'm going to cut this. Let's do 9 inches. And then I will decide how wide I need it to go. I have a different fabric chosen for the inside covers. It's a Tim Holtz fabric called Gilded Baubles. I think it's from the Yuletide fabric collection. Okay, isn't this pretty? So of course I can save some of this for pockets and what have you. Okay. So I feel like I'm going to iron these and I'll return. Okay. first thing I want to do is I want to turn this over. And that's going to be a hem. Okay. So this hem is going to go over the red part of the binding on the front of the spine. Not the spine, the cover. Jeez. I can probably also add I have some gold lace I can put there. All right. Let me flip that over. So I know this pen, let's put away some things before I cut my arm off. This pen is called Friction by Pilot. This ink will evaporate, will become invisible with heat of an iron. So it's really good for embroidery and that sort of thing, and for marking lines here. Now, I know that red part is, I want to say it was 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches. So I'm going to cut this off a bit. I just want a narrow hem, maybe. Oh, let's do 1/2 inch just to be safe. Okay, so that's my hem. And then I'm going to measure 1.25 inches. And then I'm going to give it a gap of 1/8 of an inch. And then this will go down. That was 1.5 inches. Yep. So 1.5 inches. And 1/8 of a gap. And then 1.25 inches for the front of the binding, the red part that I want to cover up. And that's where this next seam will be. So I'm just going to slice that off at 1/2 inch. I'm thinking I might hand stitch. I could glue that binding for that matter. And then I won't have any stitches showing on the front. Okay, so that's what that's going to look like. Let's do it on the other one as well. Well, where did I put it? Okay. So this time I think I either have to intentionally add the red or avoid using the red. And I think I'm going to go for intentional. So I'll center that flower like that. The cardinal's going to show up really nice, so maybe I'll move this down a bit. Try to make sure that that's straight with the grain of the fabric, because look, the edge isn't straight. That's probably good. And that was 1.5 inches. And then I want a 1/8 of an inch gap. And 1.25 inches. And then 1/2 inch hem. Flip it over and do the same. It's 1.25 inches and 1/2 inch hem. So to sort of give you a look at what this is going to look like, it's sort of going to look like that. And this one's going to look like that. Just making sure they're the same width, but that one looked wider for some reason. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is determine where I want to put. No, I'm going to hem first. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is glue this strip down. I think I'm going to go fairly high so that I get most of that poinsettia. And I'm just going to use purple glue so that I don't have any problems with leaking glue coming to the other side of the fabric. Now, I want to make sure I have enough at the bottom, because this is going to have to be, well, it'll be on the inside. This is going to have to be wrapped around the cover like that. So I want to make sure I have a good 1/2 inch anyway. Okay, I'll set that aside to dry. This one, I sort of like the stocking, so I'm going to aim a little lower. Next, I want to test drive some lace, because I think I think some lace is going to look nice on the front. I'll set you aside to dry. Move you. Don't need you in the way. I had some right here. There it is. So this is some antique lace that I got recently at an estate sale. I initially thought maybe I'd do some gold, but just at the moment I'm now considering what this ivory lace might look like. Here, wrap it around there so it's there. Sort of like that. And then I do think that's pretty. Let me try some of the gold now. What do you think? Should we go for the gold? Let's try to look at these both the same. All right, so I have the front, the back. This is what this lace looks like. This is tough. Let's see what it looks like with the other fabric. I think I'm going to go with this one. I know that's completely odd for me, but I'm thinking about how this might be difficult to manipulate on the spine. It might cause too much thickness and make the spine a little less like that. Okay, so that's chosen. Now, next up, I want to add some fabric just to strengthen this here. Or I could just use some tape, some masking tape. Let's do masking tape instead. What I'm looking to do is make this spine here not so fragile, so I don't want it to tear. And okay, that's going to be good and flexible, and I can still see the line there. And okay, do the same here. Maybe this time I'll start at the ends. I wouldn't use a cheap fabric here. This is a good quilt shop quality cotton. Not, you know, the cheap stuff you can get at, you know, in fat quarters at Joann's or whatever. You want the good stuff. Doesn't mean you have to pay a high price for it. I find really great fabric in thrift stores all the time. Okay. Okay, let's grab oh, there's the other two. Like, there's two more. Okay. I need 4 lengths of lace. Enough to wrap around. This might use up all my lace, but that's okay. I didn't pay a lot for it. I just have this itty bit left. Desserts, beverages, featured dinner. I'll save that. I can use that to back something. Now, I'm going to apply this with some glue. Now this is fabric glue, but it will be covered with the fabric on the spine. The fabric of the spine. Let's make sure we've got the correct side facing. I'm not seeing any difference. So I'm making sure that I'm putting the lace evenly. That looks not bad. I'll do all of these. Next up, I'm going to glue the fabric on top of the lace, not using a ton of glue. And I've got some lines there to show me where the top of the watercolor, or sorry, not the watercolor, the canvas, the artist's canvas is. Okay. flip it over and you see it's just about perfect. I'm going to try to stitch this down. I think my machine will go through that. I just have to think about what color thread would I want to use. Probably a dark green. Just going to glue that down with some purple glue. Oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. That's perfect. Just want to make sure these are even. What's under there? Okay. Isn't that pretty? Love it. I think that's marvelous. Okay. Next up. This one I can't see the line very closely. I'm going to have to go over it again. There we go. Get some glue here. And the next one. So make sure it's even on that lace. Okay. All right, I'm going to put these aside to dry, get my machine set up to stitch, and let's see how we make out with that. I just need to step back a second. So I started to wrap this fabric around, and then I thought, this is too flat. I need to put something in there to put some dimension in. So I pulled off these, the ends, the header and the footer of the text block, and that would have been perfect. I can only find 3. I can't find the 4th one. I went through the garbage. I searched and searched. So what I've decided to do is I have these little pieces of a quilt. So I've been doing some projects with cutter quilts, and I've cut it exactly 1.5 inches wide, and I think that's going to give me the dimension I need. It sort of evens up with the book board. So I'm going to glue those in. I'm glad I found this. I'm glad I thought to do it before I got too far into the process, because it might have looked pretty funny. Gotta have a little attention to detail, folks. Okay. Keeping the glue up high because I don't want it to leak through the fabric. Okay, let that dry. And then I'll do some stitching, but I think that's a video for today. I hope you thought this was interesting. Maybe you've dragged out an old Reader's Digest yourself. It doesn't have to be a Christmas journal. You can match some fabric to the cover of those really great decorated covers from the 60s, and they're easy to find. I see them in thrift stores all the time. All right, you take care. We will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.